Hi friends, I'm Rahul. Welcome to our channel DIY Almost Everything. In this video, we will cover a topic which is very unique and most of us face in day-to-day life. Have you been ever cheated and don't know what to do? This video will help you. For example, did you purchase anything but the seller either did not deliver the service or delivered probably bad quality or substandard services? For example, you purchased a furniture or an equipment but the person never delivered it or delivered which is very bad quality or a substandard material. Or even examples like you issued a work order for completing your interior work or a painting work and the work is either not completed or done not as per your expectation. In all such cases, usually you are concerned, do I take a legal action? Is it too complex? A lot of cost involved and time also involved, and you probably get scared. However, please note there are very simple steps you can take on your own without a legal advisor or an advocate. And in majority of cases, these steps will help you to resolve the issues. But definitely there will be few cases where these steps may not help you, and that's where you will have other options which may be a bit longer than expected, but trust me, in majority of cases you will get success. In this video, what we will cover is the first part, the simple steps which you can do with minimum expenses and get the issue resolved with definitely high success rate. And I'm talking this from my own example, my own experience. In Before we go ahead, I want to very clearly call out this is a general advice and should not be taken as a legal advice. My strong suggestion is to consult your legal advisor for appropriate guidance or action based on your particular situation. This is just an informational video. You can learn from it, you can practice it. However, it is advised to take the legal advice from a professional or a practicing advocate. First step whenever you are cheated is to collect all the information like the name of the service provider or seller. Hereinafter we will call the person who sells you the service or a product as accused, as the person has cheated you. So accused name, address, phone number, whatever personal details you can collect, not only of the accused but also the related parties. Now related parties means subcontractor, courier company, or anyone who is related directly or indirectly for your particular transaction. So the first step is to collect the information. Second step, print and save all the communication, all the bills, quotes, WhatsApp chats, emails, letter correspondence you may have done with the vendor or the subcontractor or any related party safely and properly. Step 3, make sure whatever payments you have done, you have proofs for them and you have printed them properly and saved it at a proper place, because you will need this for future requirement. Even if you have to go in a court in worst case scenario, you will need these documents like bank payments proof, bank statements, if you have paid in cash, the cash receipts, if you have paid by GPay or any wallets, that screenshot of those wallet payment. My strong advice, avoid paying in cash. Usually always pay them via bank transfers or by wallets like Google Pay, Phone Pay, or so on. Step 4, draft a very simple letter, a very simple request letter to the accused where you mention the work which you have given to him, all the details of the payment, what problem you have with that order, whether you have, if you have not received the order, then you mention that I have not received the order. If you have received but of substandard quality, mention that problem which you have with them and give them a decent time, generally 15 days time, to address your concern. Also very clearly call out in this letter that if you fail to address my concerns, I will have no option then to initiate legal action against you under the relevant forum. However, this letter should sound like a request and not like a warning. And of course, once you have this letter, send this via register AD post. Use preferably register ready post, which is an Indian post service, and avoid using couriers as register ready post is more recognized in court of law. However, there is no such rule. You can send by courier as well, but as I suggest or I prefer personally, use the register ready post letter. You can always get a acknowledgement, you can track it online, and you can also take the proof of the delivery done to the individual. Now, very important, this is a very, very important step in the entire process of dealing with someone who have cheated you. This is the first step. In case you don't have a contract with an individual, this letter will actually serve as a great proof in the court as well. Not necessarily always, but this letter will be a very important document where you can submit to the court if required in future that you tried your level best to resolve the issue. Now, the person may not accept this letter or accept this letter and not do anything. Trust me, it is the person's problem. You are having a better position in front of law. In most of the cases, as soon as the accused receive this letter, they will immediately address your issue. If the person is sensible, they will immediately issue the address your issue, because if they don't, they will get into bigger problem. How? However, sometimes accused refuse to accept the letter, or letter comes written as non-accepted or not found. uh, br- Most of the cases they will work with postman to put some fake reason and send the letter back. Let me tell you, for anything which a receiver or the accused does with the acceptance of the letter, postman notes that on the document. So all actions by the receiver is recorded, and that will be used for future purpose if required in the court. Sometimes they receive the letter but do not address the concern. Then you have to wait for 15 days, and if you still see that you don't get any response from the vendor or the seller, then the next step is to create a legal notice. Now, yes, you don't need an advocate for that. You can do it yourself. You can write a very clear notice and send it to register through registered post to all the parties involved. And yes, you can do it yourself. You don't need a legal advisor for it. How to draft a legal notice? It's a very simple step, but before that you have to understand legal notice is a very important document and is a first step and a must step. You cannot avoid this step in any legal process. No person can ignore a legal notice, as ignoring a legal notice will cause huge challenge for the accused in future. There are various judgments in the courts where if you do not issue a notice, your case will not be entertained by courts. Court insists on issuing a notice, as well as refusing a notice is also a challenge in the court. A person should not ac- reject a notice, they should usually accept a notice and rather reply to the notice rather than ignoring it. Now, how to draft a local notice? It's a very simple step. There are few very important elements which should be part of your legal notice. First, your name, your address, brief details about your profession. For example, what is your name? What is your address? You work in this company in this role. You don't need to be very detailed, but a very brief description. For example, I'm working in an IT company as a software developer. Enough. You don't need to name a company, your company. It's not required. Going ahead, then give a details of the work order or the work which you have referred. For example, you have given a work order to complete a furniture. What was the date? What was the contract agreed? What was the amount agreed? And give reference to the codes which they may have issued or the WhatsApp chats or emails they may have issued. But make sure you mention anything which you have a proof of. Don't write anything which was orally agreed and you don't have proof of, because this will create a problem for future. Mention all the detail of payment made by you, which clearly calls out date, amount, method of payment, reference numbers. Generally, when you do NEFT payment, RTGS payment, you will get some reference numbers. So mention that as well. Details of what is your issue. So explain your issue in detail. What is your issue and what you want the accused to be addressed. Next point, after mentioning personal details, payment details, problem, you also have to give a reasonable time to the accused to complete the work. For example, 15 to 30 days. It can vary depending on your work. For example, if you have a huge building to complete, you can't give 30 days. You'll have to be reasonable in giving the timelines. However, the expectation from the accused is even if the time taken is more, they should at least bare minimum respond to our notice in the given period of time, not beyond the time. Failing which, you can always take a legal action against the accused. Now, while mentioning the period or the timeline for the accused to complete it, you also have to mention that if the work is not completed, you will be forced to take action under Indian Penal Code for cheating, which is section 420, as well as you can also claim for damages as the next point. For example, if the if the product is not delivered on time, you can claim damages for delay, mental harassment, financial loss, cost of the notice, and other legal costs. So you can put a reasonable amount which you think right and logical as the damages over and above your contract amount. Last not the least, once you create this notice, ensure you send this by register AD post to all the relevant parties and retain the proof of the register AD document which Indian Post will give you. As I said you, preferably Indian Post. However, you can always prefer courier as well, but my recommendation is to send by India Post. Please note under section 420 of Indian Penal Code, it's a non-billable offense. Hence, any logical person who is sensible will not trust to go in jail for maximum of 8 years and definitely will address your issue unless the person is you're dealing with is really out of mind or a difficult person or don't understand the law or taking law very casually. I will share you one of my success stories with this two very simple step. I had a scenario where I purchased furniture from Adarsh Salon Furniture in Indore, and the source of this vendor was indiamart.com. So I have two parties involved here now, and I made a payment of 21,000 and the quote which I got from him was on 5th May 2020. The expected date of delivery or completion of order was 20th May. However, the seller did not respond to me even after multiple follow-ups. I was chasing via emails, calls, WhatsApp, but the person did not respond. Eventually, I warned him that if you don't complete my work, I will have no option than to take a legal action via WhatsApp. I think immediately he realized that he's going in wrong direction. He completed my work order and he sent me videos and asked me to do the balance payment of 21,000. I made the payment as a genuine customer. I made the payment immediately and he unfortunately sent me a fake dispatch note. I realized that it is a fake. I was chasing him again and again. I gave him a negative feedback on IndiaMart to begin with. But surprisingly, after giving a negative feedback, he literally refused me to deliver the product. And I went ahead and lodged a complaint to IndiaMart.com. However, IndiaMart.com also refused to help me. You can clearly see in the WhatsApp chat he said to me in Hindi, typing in English, that I will not dispatch the product unless you remove the complaint. And I am not in legal binding to remove the complaint because my complaint was valid. So never fall prey to such blackmailing of any sellers or vendors. What I did, I immediately issued legal notice, or sorry, I did not issue a legal notice. I issued a request letter to the salesperson who was dealing with me, to the vendor, to the CEO of IndiaMart, because IndiaMart was the party who introduced me to the vendor via IndiaMart.com, and CEO of Revigo. Revigo is the company who the vendor gave me a proof of dispatch note. And I sent this notices on 18th June mentioning if you don't complete my work, I will have no option than to initiate legal actions on Indian Penal Code Section 420. And this all notices were received by the all the parties on 21st and 22nd June 2022. You won't believe I received the product in 2 working days. I received all the products on 24th June 2022, and the total cost which I incurred was only 100 rupees for sending this letter. Of course, printing and stationery additional, but I used my own printer, own computer, so it did not costed me a lot. One important note, do retain all the copy of the receipts issued by the post. It will be used in future. I was very lucky. Vendor understood the seriousness and he immediately sent me the product, and I was not required to send a legal notice. Only on the request letter, which was the first step, I got my issue solved. This is a sample letter which I sent to him. Of course, I hidden all the mobile numbers and few names because it will have a privacy issue. This was a notice which I sent to people, the salesperson, the owner of the firm, India Mart, CEO of Rivigo, and also to the business head of the courier company. But not always you are so lucky, right? There are few times when people will not give importance to your notice, they will not respond to your notice, or few people will deliberately delay even after getting the notice, or they will give reasons like, I'm busy in this project, I'm busy in that project. Of course, not your problem, it is his problem. He should not accept the project if he can't deliver it, right? So I will be soon coming up with the next video with a real life example. I am struggling with one of my contractor who has taken a construction work of a very small house for me. He almost took 90% of amount, and he has been giving me fake promises, and completely ignored my request letter. He ignored my legal notice, and he has not done anything. Unfortunately, he don't know the repercussion of ignoring a notice under section 420. Stay tuned. I will come up with this video very soon. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching our channel. Have a nice day. Bye.